I think it's really important as a personal brand or a portfolio career to operate in the world assuming you're going to get a yes. Now, bear with me and don't just clip that piece out because it's like, wow, that Nicky Raby is a right narcissist. This is not what I mean at all. But showing up and relying on your own talent, skills, expertise, energy, resources, face, to whatever it is that you're monetizing, to create a business, to create a life, to feed your family, essentially. You have to be able to back yourself to a certain extent. Now, some days this will come really easy. Sometimes you will feel in complete flow and it will feel great. And then there will be other times where maybe, and I'll speak for myself, I don't want to put this on you, but there have been times where I have been absolutely riddled with self-doubt. I felt that even though I'd been doing something for years and years and years, I was right back at the beginning. Or like when I had my son in 2015, I just couldn't quite, and this feeling passed quite quickly, but I just couldn't quite figure out how I was going to leave the house and like go and do auditions again. I just couldn't get my head around that at all. But anyway, it happened and it was fine. And as I said, it was short-lived. So there's all that stuff going on. So the reason that I say it's important to assume that you're going to get a yes is for some of these reasons. If you always assume that you're going to get a no, or you tell people that you're not ready, or you tell people all of the things that are going wrong, you will essentially put a blocker, a stop to the ripple of your business. So say, for example, you went to 8 different places in a day. Maybe you did 2 school drop-offs where you spoke to 2 different people. You had a meeting with a client, you went into a coffee shop, you had to drop something off at the post office. I'm losing track of these, but you get the feeling. And every single place you stopped at, somebody asked you, how's things? How's business going? What's happening? And in every single one of those places, you met it with a negative response. Yeah, it's not going well, actually. Yeah, there's just not many clients around at the moment. Yeah, I'm not very busy, to be honest. And what that does, if you can imagine and visualize like quite a few places that you go to on a regular basis, if you imagine your energy rippling out to those places and you speak to those people, imagine it's like the wave crashing the back wall of the beach. It can't go any further. And yet, and this is not about lying. This is not about you saying, oh, I'm a millionaire, if you are having a tricky time in business or whatever it might be. But I think we can always choose in these moments. We can choose maybe a more optimistic response, or we can reframe something of saying, I'm really excited about, instead of, moaning that there weren't clients, for example, you could say, I'm really excited because I'm working on a new offering at the moment. There are different things that you can choose. And then what will happen is, as you spread that energy to say those 8 people, instead of having that beach wall there where the energy stops because they're like, okay, I'm not going to really talk about their business or recommend it to my friend. And I had thought about this, but like, I don't know, it just felt a bit off. Instead, what will happen is those people might talk to 8 other people. 8 times 8 is 64. And suddenly that momentum and that ripple effect of your energy just from having those conversations begins to move, begins to spill and overflow and do all these great things. And so another example I can give you when you assume that you're going to get a yes is that because again, so many of us have been conditioned in this way of like, you've got to show that you're ready. You've got to do a really, one of my mum's phrases always was me, like, don't send anything shabby. That was one of her things. Like sometimes she would read a piece of schoolwork or something. Like if I asked her, she wasn't sort of checking up on me. But she would, she would always give me feedback. And also, we know these things sometimes. We know if we've just thrown something together and just hope for the best and be like, that'll do. We know when we're in that headspace. And still, age 42, I can hear my mum saying, that's a bit shabby and you could do better than that. I think for most of us, we don't do shabby things. We don't chuck stuff out and hope for the best. We are thoughtful, we are discerning, we are considered in our approach. And so what I want to say today is that assuming that you are going to get a yes means that you care and that you're going to do the work. So if you do a pitch, give it everything that you've got. If you want to make a application or apply to some or whatever it might be, give it everything and assume that you are going to be a great fit, because once you get into that, I think I'm a really great fit for it, you're going to get into that headspace where you're automatically finding evidence to support that. If you get into that headspace of like, I don't know, I'm not very good, it just stops it. It stops the flow. So lean on my confidence in you for a little bit. If you're just like, I don't know, this is actually the last thing that I want to do, know that you have a place at the table. Know that you have lots to give. And sometimes you just need to reconnect with that part of you. If you want help with this, if you want to go to the next level and do some magical, brilliant, excellent things, send me a message. Let me know what you want to do, what's on your wish list. And you can do that via my website, or send me an email or a DM, and we'll book in some time together. Lots of love. Bye.